symptoms might be mild. Depression symptoms includes the feelings of worthlessness, the feeling of hopelessness, the feelings of helplessness, that somebody can easily go into sleep disorder suddenly. When I was depressed many years ago, as we've been having this discussion, you also be hearing about my story. So when I was depressed many years ago, I had what we call insomnia, that's sleepless night, you can't sleep. So trying to take antidepressant just to calm your nerves in order to get your sleep. But when you get so much better, this thing continues. So in my case, it was severe and clinical depression that couldn't go away. And my own was actually characterized also with hallucinations, where somebody is hearing voices, saying things that's not actually real. So depression can be different levels. So there's some level of depression that was just like, I am just not, I'm not just feeling good and all that. So we continue. We're talking about understanding depression. Depression is a global case. It's a global case. So I will read something out for you according to WHO. So we have depression case. It's common. WHO said it's common. And among the whole world, billions of people are affected with depression. And among these people that are depressed, some persons are not seeking attention. Some persons are not even going for medications. Why? Because of the stigma attached to depression or mental health illness. Some people don't want to, some people don't even know what they are feeling. While some people know they are depressed, but they don't want to talk about it. So they keep it and not these feelings inside of them. So depression is a case that has to be dealt with, because the truth remains that people are dying on a daily basis because of depression. People are locking up their feelings and they can't express themselves. And that's why many are dying. Many can't even be able to go to professionals in order to confine their feelings because of the stigma attached to mental health illness such as depression. So I'll move straight to who can be depressed. All right, anyone can be depressed. Pastors can be depressed. Clergies can be depressed. The young, the teenagers, the adolescent can be depressed. And precisely the case I am actually handling of recent is teenagers' depression. And I'm counseling them critically. So the truth remains that anyone can be depressed. The teenagers, the youth, the young, the old can be depressed. So anyone can be depressed. That's the answer. Anybody can be depressed. If you can hear me, can you type anyone can be depressed? All right. Ma, welcome for joining. Basi, welcome. Everyone joining. Once again, welcome to our Antidote to Depression Day 1. We are talking about understanding what depression is all about and what can lead to depression, who can go through depression. So that I'm telling you that anyone can be depressed. All right. So let's move to causes, the things that can lead to depression. Number one, many people believe that genetics has everything to do with depression, even though it's true, but not quite all. Because 50% or 45 to 50% of depression are caused genetically. That's family history. And if family has had somebody who has been depressed and suicidal or has committed suicide, there is this probability that it continues. And that's where we have transgenerational depression, where people have to stand up to stop it. So if it's in your case, you have to work to see that you stop it on your own, that it doesn't cross to another generation. So biological can cause that, where environment can cause depression, things that can lead to depression, and physical illness, unforeseen circumstances, such as traumatic experiences can cause depression, such as loss of a loved one. In my case, when I lost my younger brother, that's when I went into deep depression because of how close we were. It was not easy. So, but I thank God that I'm out today. But the truth is that a lot of things can lead to depression. Somebody can wake up to foresee something that you didn't plan. Just in the school days then, I remember one of the guys committed suicide just because he woke up in the morning and the girlfriend posted her traditional marriage pictures on social media. So he saw it and he went into deep depression. That's why I said depression is a global case and has to be dealt with. Because the truth remains that some persons who are going through depression doesn't even know what depression is. And that's why there should be an awareness for everyone to understand that depression is eating deep into the society. The closest person you have might be depressed without even you knowing. And that's why we are calling out for this. All right, I'll quickly rush and also explain that somebody can quickly commit suicide. That's why we call it mild depression. This one happened within a week or two. Like in the case of this guy, seeing that this girl had traditional marriage, he couldn't be able to control his emotions. He couldn't bear it. The next thing, he wrote a suicide note and committed suicide. So don't come and ask me why would somebody, because of girlfriend and all that, commit suicide. That's why I'm coming there to tell you that there is a spirit behind depression. And if you have to deal with depression, we have different ways. We have counseling way of dealing with depression. We have psychotherapy. We have CBT way of dealing with it. We have interpersonal therapy of dealing with depression, and we can combine the two with medication. But there's some situation when talking therapy works, and in situation like this, why is Message the Mess promoting awareness for depression? Because if me and you get to know the symptoms of depression, when you have a roommate, you have a loved one, your spouse, your sister, your brother, there's a way they begin to behave. You begin to trade that something is wrong. You begin to try to intervene. You don't let them. Maybe some people, remember, we'll be listing how you will know you're depressed, how you will know somebody is depressed. For instance, suddenly this person has what is called persistent sadness. The sadness that refuses to go. They can watch comedy, but after watching it, they go back to their mood. Then this person begins to have issues. Maybe it's you, and issues with sleeping issues, sleeping disorder. People begin to have changes in appetite. Some people call it eating disorder. In my case, I was eating excessively. Why is some other people's case eat and result into let me break it down. Somebody walking on the street and is talking to him or herself. This can be terrible, severe depression. And who can be depressed? Anybody can be depressed. And what causes depression? I've listed them before you: biological, genetics, environment, and sudden issues of life. I call them unforeseen circumstances. All right, today I am glad. I welcome every one of you because I'm about to release the first antidote to depression. And because we are not here to promote the problem of depression. No, we are not here to promote the problem of depression. All right, if you know you are following me, can you please write antidote to depression, and also that you can hear me. All right. I will be releasing the antidotes to depression. Number one antidote to depression. Do you want to hear that? Do you want to hear the number one antidote to depression? Are you ready to grab that one? Remember, when we mean antidote to depression, we are talking about the ways to overcome depression. Yeah, we talk about the ways to overcome depression. That's just the slight meaning of that. Ways for you to overcome depression. So number one for today, or the other days, remember we have 7 days to go. So for today, antidote 1. So today is our episode 1. So today, the first antidote we'll be talking about today, we call it the place of decision. The place of what? Decision. So I call that the place of what? Decision. Did you hear that? Number one antidote is what? The place of decision. Please write it in the comment section so that I will know you're following. Once again, welcome to this section tonight. So today we talk about number one antidote we're talking about today is the place of what? Decision. We call it choice. For us, some of us who are Christians, the word of God said in Deuteronomy 13:19, he said, I've set before you life and death. But he encouraged us to choose life, that you and your seed will be able to live. So that brings me, I want to connect that to genetic cause of depression. If me and you, just like you are hearing me today, and just like you are hearing my voice, imagine if I didn't overcome depression. How would you be able to learn how to overcome it? So sometimes our pain are not meant to destroy us. Our pain are meant to grow us. If only we can wait to see what God has in store for us. If only we can see the future, you will notice that there's nothing that should make you lose hope. Okay? It doesn't matter how long it takes. The truth is that God may be slow, but he's still coming. And that's one thing I love about him. So why must you take the decision? The truth is that the first healing that comes to any man, no matter what causes your depression, whether it's loss of a job, loss of a loved one, whether you are bereaved, whether you are raped, whether this or that has caused it, let's assume it's genetic. And why not strive and rise that I'm going to stop this, so that the next generation will not have it. That's why I love that part that says, choose life, that you and your seed may live. So imagine if I did strive to overcome depression. How would I be bold to talk about how to come out of depression? So number one antidote today is the place of choice, your decision. You will first decide. So I wrote something down. I want to just put it out. So when I talk about the place of choice, I want to read some, I want to show you some quotes. Your choices reflect your hope or your fears. Your choice may reflect your hope. Your choice may reflect your fear. So why not choose the choice of hope? That's why that place in the Bible said, choose life. So it's either you choose death. That's why some people choose to die through suicide. But remember that people doesn't choose to be depressed. No human being chooses to be irritated, because persistent sadness that results to terrible anger. People are irritated, and for no reason they are angry, because something is going on in their heart that they cannot share outside. Okay, so we're talking about Antidote 1, the place of choice, and we said your choice reflects your hope. Your choice can reflect your fear. Sometimes in life, you have to make a selfish decision and do what is best for you. What did I say? Sometimes in life, you have to be selfish in your decision. Now, what do I mean? You have to get to a time where you take a decision that I am going to be out of this issue. Because maybe your own issue is delay in getting job, delay in getting married, all manner because you are mocked, maybe in having your children, maybe because you just lost somebody. The way to deal with something is to start from the roots. Okay, I've lost this person in my own case. Okay, should I die with this person I lost? Or won't I be alive to fulfill, even fill the vacuum, the part this person were not able to fill? Don't you getting me? Why would I be alive if maybe I lost somebody? That's my case. I lost my younger brother. So I was badly depressed. But it got a particular time. As I'm going through depression, I entered into physical sickness, because remember, depression can lead to physical illnesses. Physical illnesses can lead to depression. So that's the truth. It's a vice versa. So this can lead to this, this can lead to this. So by the time I noticed that I became sick, physical sickness. Now, even sometimes after taking drugs, it doesn't work. So until one day, I came in contact with a psychiatrist, and he was trying to get my symptoms. When I said, Madam, you are clinically depressed. And I said, wow, these are the symptoms. And that was exhibiting almost all the symptoms. And that's why we are here not just to talk about how to. We are here to give you a voice, that you will know that we are professionals. We are certified. We can help you. Why not confide in people? Because one of the ways to start getting help is to decide you want to go and seek for help. If somebody that committed suicide decided to choose somebody to confide in, maybe a teenager that committed suicide chose a teacher in the classroom, say, Auntie, I want to tell you what is going on in my home. I want to tell you what my father, my mom is doing to me. That child will not commit suicide, because it's finally opened up. And when you open up, that's where solution begins to come. It's even better you run to somebody and say, I'm dying, please help me, please help me. But one of the reasons why people commit suicide is inability to open up their challenges. Some reason because fear of being judged. Some reason fear of being mocked. The stigma attached to it. Just in my case, one of those days I went to see a man of God seeking for help. And he said, Joy, why would you be depressed as a child of God? So let me tell you this. A Christian and a child of God can be depressed. That's why I use the word pastors too can be depressed. So don't tell me, why are this, why are this, why are this? Anybody can be depressed. It's because you don't understand the thing called depression. If you have not tested it, don't judge who has gone through it. Please stop judging the pain you have not felt. Don't judge the pain you didn't feel. Because if you are in the shoe of the person, you might do worst or feel worst or even commit suicide. So anything can happen to strike and make people to be imbalanced in life. Remember, the first antidote is the place of choice. I wouldn't do that for you. In my case, I chose. Take that decision. Choose life. If it's genetic, it does not matter. Choose life. Take decision that even if it's running in my family, I have to bleed it. There's a place of in trauma. There's a place called transgenerational trauma. So if this thing is happening in the family, I have to stop it by myself. Then you begin to take the steps we'll be releasing from tomorrow in order to come out of it. But number one is you opening up. You can chat us up. Remember, our WhatsApp button is available on our page to chat us up. Open up to somebody. Don't keep those feelings inside. There's a way it results to physical sickness. Depression is real. Depression is not friendly. Depression is not fake. It is real. Depression is not when somebody frowns face on the streets. Depression is the person that looks so good, dresses cuted, some of them even driving the latest car, but they are dying inside. So we call it a mask people wear. Mostly people who are depressed doesn't look depressed. But when they go into sleep, they can't sleep. When they want to eat, is either they are eating excessively, eating junks, or they are not eating at all. They have nightmares. They wake up with aches because one of the symptoms of depression is body aches. So they wake up with all manner of aches, but don't know what is going on. So I don't know the one you are going through. I don't know the feeling you are not showing inside. The first way out of every feeling, whether depression, anxiety, whether you are going through the issues that is overwhelming you, don't be so badly that you can't open up. So I'm encouraging you tonight that the first way to start is to, number one, open up to someone. Talk to a professional. Talk to a certified counselor. Talk to us. That's why we are here for you. Speak to somebody. Don't die in silence. No, don't die in silence. So remember, number one is to make a choice. Let that choice be selfish. I don't know what you're going through, but number one thing you must have to do is take a decision to be out of depression. One, take a depression. Let's assume you are not depressed. Let me tell you something. There is a place of building stamina. There is a place of building resilience. That's ability to be let me explain this with a little phrase. You don't prepare for war in face of war. You prepare before the war. There is a place of building resilience, building stamina. I'll be giving you the ways to build stamina. I'll be showing this to you from tomorrow. So even if you are not depressed, follow the program to learn how to build stamina and resilience. So that, because nobody knows what we face tomorrow. Unforeseen circumstance is something that is in fact is normal with life. Somebody wakes up now to be having a headache. The other day is fine. Somebody wakes up now to receive good news of something like this. That's not our prayer. But there's a need to prepare for unforeseen circumstances. Some people who are having cancerous issue, physical health issue like high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, all manner of health challenges, arthritis, that eating up, their pain has eaten them up. They didn't know they would go into such thing. They didn't know they would go into such thing. So if you are connecting, this program is for everybody, because it will be dealing with you overcoming what you are going through. Maybe your own depression is mild. You are always feeling sad and all manner. Just follow this program. Tomorrow we continue from our second episode. And the second one I won't tell you today. Be there tomorrow to learn. But take decision. Let it be that what you learn tonight, you're going to take decision that you won't let situation weigh you down. Take decision that even if it's a spirit that is possessing me, that is persistently making me angry, causing me to go into terrible depression, even I'm going to take decision to win that spirit. I'll be teaching you how to do that one, because there is a spirit behind infirmities, and if you don't deal with them, they deal with you. Now, why must you take decision? What you don't deal with will eventually deal with you. Any attitude, any addiction you don't deal with will deal with you. Let me not forget, addictions can lead to depression. Depression can lead people into addictions. You see the way I mentioned it. If somebody is depressed, he's looking for how to cope. Might start smoking, start masturbating, and cross into pornography, which you know is wrong. But if somebody also wants to overcome the addictions and all that, you begin to walk into the root of what caused into addiction. So if your own substance abuse or addiction is caused by depression, we'll be dealing with how to overcome addiction. Okay, so as I conclude, we talked about understanding what depression is. It's a mood disorder, a mental health issue. Why is it mental health? Remember, mental health is what affects the way you think, the way you act, and the way you feel. So whatever that affects your mood have affected you. So depression affects the way we think, the way we move, the way we feel, and the way we behave. That's why suddenly somebody locks up. They call it, somebody begin to withdraw from normal activities of the day. It got to a time I didn't go to work for months. They will call me, they will ask questions, it was not even working. Okay, so I thank God I'm alive to talk about my story. But I want to remind you, as I conclude, it does not matter how terrible the situation is. It does not matter the delays. It does not matter what you are facing. It does not matter who has spoken ill of you. It does not matter the picture people are painting about you. It does not matter the situation, the delays, the disappointment, the heartbreaks, the rejections, all that you're going through. I just want to remind you that there is a way out. It does not matter how long. But the truth is that God is coming through for you. It does not matter. If this woman you're hearing her voice overcame depression, anyone can. Because mine was so severe, lasted years. I attempted suicide. There was nothing like thought of suicide. Mine graduated from thinking suicide to committing it. But the thing is that I didn't die. So I don't know why I didn't die, because this mission has to be fulfilled. I didn't die. I took substances that has killed many. But mind you, by the time they rush me, I go for treatment, they will notice that what I took wasn't even there. So I have attempted suicide. It's not that I thought of it, I attempted. But God still kept me. Why? Because He wants to save you. Because there are people that has to go through pain in order to walk people out of pain. There's one of a prominent man of God in Nigeria that I've had him recently. He said, don't submit to a mentor who has not gone through pain, because they will have nothing to tell you. So I learned that. So our scars are for our stars. Our scars are for our stars. So I don't know exactly what your scar is. Take decision. So today, take decision. I'm going to follow all the episodes. I'm going to walk out of depression. I'm going to walk out of this anxiety. I'm going to walk out of this. I'm going to walk out of this. Whether there is financial stress, I know that tomorrow will be better. So why would you break down in your health? By the time the testimony comes, you're already sick. Because you could not build resilience during the issues. I want to encourage you. Be strong in the Lord. Be encouraged. Take decision. Speak out. Reach out to someone close to you. Share what you are feeling, okay? Share what you are feeling. Don't keep it to yourself. Okay? Share out. So my encouragement to you today is to speak out. Take decision that you want to come out. So one day I took a decision. I went to the mirror. I looked at myself both eyeball to eyeball. I said, enough of these nightmares, enough of this insomnia, enough of this, because it developed into different kinds of things. I said, enough of this. I must come out. And I began to write. I began to journal the ways out. I began to seek for ways. I began to follow spiritual ways. I began to follow religious ways. I began to follow physical ways. I began to follow therapy ways. I began to see psychological ways. All manner of ways. And decided to come out. So take decision that your problem will not overwhelm you. That you are going to see the end of the problem. Remember, what you see is very important. Are you seeing a great future? Are you seeing fears? As I conclude, your choice reflects your hopes, and your choice reflects your fears. Why not choose hope? Why not keep connecting to learn what God has in stock for you? I believe I've been able to answer some questions. So if maybe you're in the comment section, if you maybe you learned something, please drop what you've learned tonight. So what what we did tonight in conclusion is understanding depression, possible causes of depression, who will go through depression, how do you detect you're depressed. These are symptoms. I'll be dropping it on the section after this. These are symptoms of depression. So you check if you're going through them, and if you can reach out to professionals. We have doctors who can help you, and we have certified counselors who can help you, and Message Nimes also is here to help you. All you need to do is to chat us up, reach out to us and all that, and we're going to be helping you. So as we conclude today, I want to say to you, remember that too shall pass, and you share your testimony. Don't die before your time, and don't give up. My name is Joy Eneoji. I'm a certified mental health and addiction counselor, a trauma recovery coach, and I'm a depression therapist. Okay, I'm a teen coach and youth coach. You are listening to a woman who has gone through clinical and severe depression for years, was suicidal and attempted suicide, but God saved her, preserved her, and mandated her to go rescue as many as we can help out of mental health challenges. Stay blessed, and see you by this time tomorrow by 7 p.m. Once again, we apologize greatly for the delay. Remember, God is helping us. All right, see you tomorrow, the same time by 7 p.m. Bye.